Unify 2 is the next major evolution of PluginGuru's flagship instrument, built to expand on everything that made the original so powerful. It began with John Skippy Limcool's vision to create a unified environment where every plugin, instrument, and effect could live together in perfect harmony, and that idea has now been taken further than ever before. After years of development and refinement, the Unify platform has matured into something deeper and more capable, with developer Paul Carter bringing new energy and expertise to the project, rebuilding the core engine, rethinking the interface, and designing a workflow that feels faster, clearer, and more musical. It carries forward the legacy of Shane Dunn's brilliant foundation while introducing modern usability improvements like separate buses for instruments and effects, smarter navigation, new macro controls, integrated MIDI filtering, and the fully reimagined Guru Sampler 2, a powerful new sampling engine where modulation is effortless and creative flow is uninterrupted. Every change was made to enhance the experience of building, layering, and sculpting sound. Unify 2 isn't just a version update. It's the next step in an ongoing journey to bring all your tools, sounds, and creative ideas into one cohesive ecosystem. So in this video, we're going to take an inside look at Unify 2, explore what makes it such a significant leap forward, and show you how it can elevate your existing plugins, workflow, and creative process to an entirely new level. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to talk about Unify 2, the brand new, revamped, remastered synth/DAW inside of a box from PluginGuru. Unify 2 is an extremely powerful addition to anyone's studio. So hopefully by the end of this video, you guys are going to see just how powerful it is and how you can add these techniques to your own productions. Now, some of you might remember the video that I did, the original video I did for Unify back in 2021, and I called it the best plugin ever. And I still stand by that statement. There are things that I can do inside of Unify 2 that I simply cannot do with any other plugin in my studio. And I'm going to show you exactly why in this video. All right. So before I start, I want to give a couple shout outs to some very specific people because without them, Unify 2 wouldn't be possible. And the first is Shane Dunn. There's Shane right there. Now, Shane is the original programmer for Unify 1. And it's because of Shane that Unify exists as it is today. He built all the technology behind Unify, and he pretty much put the whole idea on his back, and he brought us to where we are right now. So I want to give a special thank you and shout out to Shane. He has since moved on to another project. He's working on Gig Performer, which is another piece of software, but I really want to thank him and wish him well because like I said, we would not be here without the hard work of Shane. Now, I could not have dreamed a better person to pass on the torch to than my friend Paul Carter. Paul is the mastermind behind Hyperion. Some of you guys might remember the videos that I did for Hyperion back in the day. And he is just a really, really solid computer programmer, and he really knows his stuff. And so he has taken all the hard work that Shane did and made Unify 2 an extremely user-friendly and very powerful plugin. So I really want to give a special shout out to Paul too, because he's put so much work in, and Unify 2 wouldn't be where it is right now without the hard work of Paul. Now, of course, John Skippy Limcool. There's Skippy right there. Skippy is the mastermind and force behind PluginGuru, and he is an extremely talented musician. He's a really talented sound designer, and he pretty much gives the world all of these amazing presets and sounds that they can use in their own music. So it's because of him that PluginGuru exists. And I just really want to thank him for all the work that he's done, because we're all beneficiaries of all the hard work that you do, Skippy. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. Now, before I wrap this up, I also want to give a special shout out to all of the talented sound designers and preset programmers who make libraries for Unify. You guys know who you are, because without you putting thousands of hours into your craft, into designing sounds, recording, and making presets, that we have all of these amazing libraries. So it's not lost on me all of the hard work that you guys are doing to make PluginGuru what it is. So I want to give a special thank you to all of you guys because all of your libraries are going to go into Unify 2, and that's what we're going to talk about here today. Okay, so this is Unify 2. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. The first question that you probably have is, what is Unify 2 and why do I need it? Well, allow me to explain. So Unify 2 not only can play all of the amazing patches from all of the fantastic libraries that PluginGuru offers, but you can also play with all of the internal synthesizers and effects that Unify 2 offers you. You can also host your own synthesizers and effects right here in Unify 2. But you might be thinking, why do I need this if I already have a DAW? Well, let me continue. So Unify 2 is an extremely powerful environment. So I made a patch here just before I started recording this video, which shows you just what you can do in Unify 2, right? So you can hear, this sounds really good. And you can see there's 4 different layers here inside of Unify. Now, these are all hosting very resource intensive synthesizers. The first layer here is the brand new Omnisphere 3, right? Which again is a very resource hungry synthesizer. I'm running a preset called Unquiet Slumbers for Sleepers from Ambient Dreams. And you can see that, I don't know about you guys, but you guys can see all of the resources that are being dedicated to each layer. Unify 2 is multi-core aware. What does that mean? It means that all of the layers are evenly distributing your processor cores, so you can run multiple instances of very powerful synthesizers all at the same time. And that in itself is one of the hugest benefits of using Unify 2. So you can see my processor's barely going over 25% up here at the top, but all of those cores are being distributed evenly throughout these entire layers. That's really cool, right? So the second layer is an instance of Pigment 6 with a preset that I made for Chromatic 4 called Dawnbringer, right? And that's just adding even more context to this. Beautiful patch here, right? You can mix and match these layers. Really cool. Now, back in the day, I called Unify the Inception plugin. What does that even mean? Well, you can run instances of Unify 2 inside of itself. So you can host instances of Unify inside of Unify, and it can just keep going, right? So you can see here that I've got Unify 2 inside of its own layer, and that's a whole separate instance of Unify. I mean, the fact that you can even do that is mind-blowing, right? And you can host different patches, and then you can go even further and host another instance of Unify 2 inside of itself, which would create the third layer of the dream, right? So it's like, it's really wild, right? So there's so many things you can do in Unify, and they've added all of these interface tweaks. You can see how nice it looks. And there's just so much you can do with Unify. So we're gonna go over all the features here. So hopefully you guys are getting hyped up about Unify 2, and you're gonna be able to use this synthesizer in your own productions. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in right now. Okay, so we've got a blank instance of Unify 2 here. Now you might be wondering, what is this photo? Why am I seeing all these pictures, right? They've done a lot of work to really let you customize Unify 2 in any way that you like. So if you want to change the picture in the background, all you have to do is click on the little picture right here. And you can see that now we have play mode. We're going to talk about this later. But you can see if you click on the picture, you can select the background image for the interface itself. I mean, there's all kinds of great photos in here. The top 4 rows, supposedly John took these photos himself on all of his travels. That's really cool. There's some really nice, space stuff in here, macro photos. I mean, I just love this. So let's select like this space photo. That's cool. You can click on the little color wheel here and adjust this. You want to make it a little darker, you can. If you want to add some more blue to it, I mean, it's all there for you. And then of course, this all gets saved if you click on the little pin icon right here. So now that we've got our interface all set up, now it's time to make some music, right? So just click on the picture to get out of here. And now you can see that we got a blank instance of Unify with our own background, okay? So the sine wave synth is what you start with. That's what every single patch starts with. Now I could use that, or what I could do is right click on sine wave synth and choose another synthesizer. All of these are synths that I have installed on my system. So you can see we have Current here, Dune 3, we've got Omnisphere 3, Serum 2, right? All of my favorite synthesizers. So I'm gonna click on Omnisphere 3 and hit load selected. It's gonna take a little bit to load. As you know, Omnisphere 3 is a very resource hungry synthesizer, right? So we're going to select a patch here. Let's go with Ambient Dreams, and we'll go to Pads, All, and then we'll say, let's go with Atmospheric Ray of Light. That's a good patch. Let's hear what this sounds like. It's a nice sounding patch, right? So that's an instance of Omnisphere 3 just hosted right there. Sounds awesome. But what if I wanted like my own reverb on that? Well, Unify 2 has its own aux effects. You can send anything you like. You can use them as inserts or aux effects, all right? That's really cool. So all I have to do is come up to the plus sign right here and say add aux effects. Let's go empty aux layer. I'm gonna right click on this little blue line right here and say, all right, let's go grab my Pro R2, okay? And we'll load selected. And now I've got the Pro R2 loaded right inside of Unify. We'll pick my favorite preset. I'm gonna go with Olancha Farewell. That's a good preset. Now that's loaded, all right? The mix is all the way up. And all I have to do, you can see there's a little 1 right here. I just crank this up. Oh yeah. And that's the FabFilter Pro R2 hosted right inside of Unify. That's cool, I like that, right? Now, like I said, you could either host your own synthesizers or you could host one of, an instance of Unify with some of the great presets that it comes with, okay? So here's the little library button right down here. You click on the Show Hide Preset Browser, and you can see that the Unify standard library comes with 663 patches. I mean, that's a lot of patches, and that's not all you get, but that's just amount of presets that come standard with Unify 2. So I'm gonna go to one of my favorite libraries here. This is called Modern Cinema Space Dreams, all right? And we're gonna pick some of these cool presets. Now you might notice these 3 main buttons here on the bottom, all right? We've got this button, which is replace all layers. So I click on one of those presets, it's gonna replace everything, the Omnisphere instance, the Pro R2, all of it. But the middle one is very interesting because it's called Insert New Unify. That means it's gonna take that preset and insert it into a brand new instance of Unify 2 right inside of my patch. So I'm gonna click that one, all right? And we'll pick like, I don't know, let's go with Surface to Venus, all right? And now you can hear that we've got Surface to Venus right underneath our patch. Oh yeah. I love it, I love it, I love it, right? Let's go up here and we'll say, all right, let's add another instance of Astrals 07. How about that? We'll grab that one and boom, it's gonna add another instance. Oh yeah. So I've got a texture from Modern Cinema Space Dreams. I've got Astrals 07, which is like an arpeggiator. I mean, this just sounds cool, right? It just sounds cool. I'm into it, okay? So what if I wanted, say, a delay inside of Unify? Well, all I have to do is just come up here again, add a new aux layer. Let's add an empty aux layer, right click on it. We'll go down here, find the Valhalla delay, okay? Load selected, make it bigger. Let's go ahead and make this like this. I'll load my preset, that's the Syn delay 2022. And we'll just load up, call in some of that delay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're in outer space. You gotta love it, right? So you can start to see how powerful this can be, right? It's like you're just sort of imagining what it would be like to be so free and so liberated inside of a plugin. And it's here for you, it exists. This is what Unify 2 is all about, all right? So now, the other cool thing that they did, which is kind of overlooked, is, you normally think of like a metronome, like it's just click, 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 and maybe you might get inspired, just listening to the click. But they've given this metronome a life of its own. I'm gonna show you what I mean. So if you click this or right click the little metronome down here, it opens up a whole separate instance of Unify 2 inside of Unify 2. And this is a dedicated metronome with all these different presets. It's crazy, right? So let's pick one of these cool grooves. Let's pick like, I don't know, we'll go with Hornet's Web, right? I'm gonna go with Hornet's Web, okay? I've loaded this up. I'm going to stop the sequencer, restart it, and check this out. Right click the oh yeah. You see what I'm saying? So that's its own instance of Unify 2 playing a metronome groove right inside of Unify. How cool is that? I love it. I love it. But because this is an instance of Unify 2, it means that the same rules apply. I can add effects to this. I can add my own whatever, it doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and open up this layer, and we're gonna add, say, an effect here. We're gonna click on the little plus sign right here. I'm gonna add an effect called Replicant 3. Some of you guys may know this effect. Oh yeah, right inside of Unify 2, right? Let's go ahead and adjust this. Oh yeah, little slice effects, add some division here. I mean, come on. How cool is this? I mean, this is so dope, right? Close this off. Incredible, absolutely incredible. You have to give it up for PluginGuru. I mean, they really did think of a lot of things, like adding the metronome in there, the ability to run multiple layers with multiple cores, send effects. It's fantastic. I mean, this is just an amazing package. Okay, so now the question is, what if you wanted to record this stuff? Well, thankfully, PluginGuru has built a system for just that. Now, I want to draw your attention over to the settings page. You can see if I click on the gear icon right here, we get the default trigger mode for the transport. Now, I've got mine set to manual start and stop, so whenever I press the record button with my mouse, it's gonna start recording. I think the default is quick stop, which means that it's gonna start when you press a key, and I found that kind of messed with some of my synthesizer's release time, so I switched it to manual start and stop, and that fixed my problem. But I encourage you to dive in here and check out all these options. There's like restart, manual stop, and find what works for you, all right? So now that we've got that set up, you can see that there's 4 different options for recording here. We have MIDI plus master layer, so that's gonna record the MIDI that you play on your keyboard plus the sound from the master layer, that's all channels combined. Or it's MIDI plus master layer plus the sound of the metronome on its own separate track. That's really cool. But then we have MIDI plus all layers, and that's every single layer inside of Unify in its own separate recording lane. I mean, that's really cool, its own separate audio file. Or you can do that plus all layers plus metronome. I mean, it's just wild. They've thought of everything, every single recording possibility here. So I'm gonna choose the last option, MIDI plus all layers plus metronome, and I'm gonna hit record here, and I'm gonna start playing. Check this out. So when you're done, all you have to do is press stop right here. Okay, and I can right click on the record button, and you see it brings up a folder on my hard drive of all the different sounds that are recorded. We've got both aux tracks on their own separate track. We've got the instrument layers on their own separate audio files, the master layer, and the MIDI that I played. And you can just bring this back in your DAW, so you could use this to, like, you know, basically create your own song right here, or you could record sounds, you could record your own presets and sample those and resample those. I mean, it's just wild, right? And I'm so excited about this system. So you can see with all this power and all this possibility, what else can you do? Well, let me show you. So you can see here, we can open up the macro page down here and the keyboard. The macros, there's 8 macros on this first page, but not only that, there's 4 pages of 8 macros. That's 32 macros. And these are the most powerful macros I've ever seen in any synthesizer. So if you right click on a macro, you can see it's got its own internal modulation system inside of the macro, right? So I can add a destination here. Let's go to instruments. We'll add the mix level and we'll slow this down. And now if I hit run here, right, enable global start and stop and then run it, you can see that if I run the transport, this macro is just running on its own. And it's just doing a modulation, a linear modulation on this texture level right here. How cool is that, right? So not only that, you can have multiple destinations inside of one macro, and then you get 32 of these. I mean, it's pretty wild, right? So that's cool. I mean, you can never get bored with 32 macros, right? You got infinite possibilities here. And all the destinations are open to you. So, like I said, you can collapse the library if you want. You can open up this play mode. You see I got this killer waveform here. So if you just want to kind of vibe out and record and play sounds and play with macros, you can do that here in play mode. Love it. I mean, that's cool. I'm so glad they added this, right? And I want to show you one more thing. At the heart of Unify 2 is the brand new updated Guru Sampler 2. This thing is so powerful. So I'm gonna add a new empty instrument here, an instrument layer. I'll right click and I'll add the Guru Sampler 2 here. Now, you can see that this interface is totally changed. Like we've got a real nice, interface here, 3 LFOs, the whole thing, right? And not only does Unify 2 come with 663 presets, but you've got all these different sounds inside of Guru Sampler 2. Let me show you what I mean. So instead of basic waveforms, come down here and you can see we've got all these different libraries, right? And this is like 10% of the samples coming from those libraries that all of the sound designers have contributed. So I can go to Dream State Light right here. We can select a sound. Let's select, I don't know, how about Gold Rays at Night, right? And then we can adjust our envelope here. Let's make like a pad kind of envelope here. Lower the stain up the release. And we'll shift this up. 12 semitones, lower down the filter here. And now we've got, another Guru sampler with this sound that just came inside of the standard factory library right there for you. So as far as inspiration goes right out of the box and more sounds and possibilities, Unify 2 has got you. I mean, this is just like, right there, inside the factory library. So good. Anyway, if you guys weren't convinced already, I'm sure you are now. So I highly encourage you guys to check out Unify 2. And while you're there picking up Unify 2, maybe pick up some of those preset packs. I mean, they're just such good high quality libraries and you're supporting all the great sound designers who make those libraries. So I can vouch for them myself. I use them in all of my productions and you might too. So maybe Unify 2 is the one thing that's gonna really unify your entire setup and really take your sounds to the next level. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. I wanna thank PluginGuru for sponsoring this video. And I'm just really excited about the future of this platform and I hope you are too. So you're gonna see me using a lot more Unify 2 in the future. We are just getting started here, all right? So anyway, thanks again for watching. I truly appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I love hearing from you guys. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. So as always, keep your heads in the clouds and your feet planted firmly on the ground. I'm Chris from Signs of Life, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.